AMG. Look, come live the life of a savage. Bossed up, nah, I just need a babbage. Members with me living lavish. You tryna come to the piece, let us smack it. Gritty with me, zero with me. They gon' up it with me and get busy with me. Yeah, I'ma stick a nigga dumb. I cannot come unless Sitchy with me. Niggas gon' stop all the trolling. Don't let me catch a nigga when I'm rolling. Jump shot green like Curry, and I'm on bullshit like the Rosen. Run it up, he got no motion. Where's your G? Watch you loafing. Spin through the, we be causing commotion. Double S slime, niggas better focus. Spin through where? Oh shit, boy, the dummy of the year. Claiming they throwing shots, we ain't here. And that's how you niggas get put in the air. Dumbass, bullets gon' chase me, run past. We ain't them cameras y'all pointing them guns at. Stop acting like you really want that. I'm in the coast, some killers who want that. Do what we want. Body bag, fuck it, put them in the trunk. Every time niggas claiming that it's up, we making them please. That time of the month. Oh shit, goddamn. The members stay with me, we locked in. Everybody gon' go in no top 10. Call Ubi up and flock in. Where you going, you boxed in.
Shooters clicking, tripping, and some fly shit. Free beat out, he locked up for the violence. Been the block, the kick, they can't do lying. Call my first up in, I got excited. He was in my sight, I had to light it. Flocking even though I hear the sirens. Gangsters moving, but they moving silent. Said she love me, but I know she lying. Y'all be flocking, you do not be fighting. Better move or you gon' be in my split. They be snitching on some calling cop shit. If I get the drop, I been in drop shit. Want to miss you once I flock this rocket. Niggas pussy and they out of pocket. Catch him like a bad his ass gon' cop it. We gon' make it means the trending topic.
When I knock on my hand, I'm releasing this anger. Split full of money, split full of banger. They know what's up, that's some bro, they can't taste from the heights to the style. We gon' put them in danger. Still fuck all our ops on the boys to get with me. Double S tryna dump on my walk over baby. 30 for 30, we aiming for 6. Always one in the head, cause this shit can get risky. Back out, why this nigga moving? If he hollows hit his body, got him on the floor. And they know what's up when we spin out some show. If it's word that he done, that's a round of applause. Pop me a 30 and don't leave me a close. And if I'm with the bros, then we pull up a 4. Creeping, tear with me, tryna toast it. Get caught on that block, it'll show no remorse. And I find it funny how they be mentioning gang, but still ain't get back for they.
Once upon a time, a person went to Gautam Buddha seeking advice on how to control his emotions. The person was struggling with anger and frustration, and he was looking for a way to manage his emotions better. Buddha smiled and asked him to sit down. He said, "I will tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a king who ruled a prosperous country. One day, he decided to visit the neighboring kingdom. He had heard that the king of that kingdom was famous for his wisdom. When the king arrived, he was welcomed with great honor. The king of the neighboring kingdom had prepared a grand feast in his honor. During the feast, the king noticed a fly in his soup. He was disgusted and ordered his servant to bring him another bowl of soup. The king of the neighboring kingdom saw this and said, "Your Majesty, please do not be angry. It was just a small fly. It does not matter." The king replied, "I cannot tolerate such things. Even a small fly can ruin my mood." The king of the neighboring kingdom smiled and said, "Your Majesty, allow me to give you a piece of advice. It is not the fly that ruined your mood, but your reaction to it. You have the power to control your emotions. Do not let them control you." The king realized the wisdom in these words and returned to his kingdom. From that day onwards, he started practicing the art of not reacting to situations that would previously trigger his emotions. He found that he was able to maintain his composure in challenging situations and was able to make better decisions. The power of not reacting is an important lesson for all of us. We often react to situations without thinking, and this can lead to negative consequences. Reacting to situations with anger and frustration can damage our relationships with others and hinder our ability to make clear-headed decisions. However, it is important to understand that not reacting does not mean that we should suppress our emotions. Emotions are a natural part of our human experience, and it is important to acknowledge them. Instead of reacting impulsively, we should take the time to process our emotions and respond in a thoughtful manner. In another part of the world, there lived a young man named Michael. Michael was a very emotional person, and he often reacted impulsively to situations that upset him. He would get angry and say hurtful things, which would lead to arguments and hurt feelings. One day, Michael decided to take control of his emotions. He knew that his impulsive reactions were causing more harm than good, and he wanted to change. He started practicing mindfulness and meditation, which helped him become more aware of his thoughts and emotions. He also started practicing the art of not reacting. Whenever he found himself in a situation that would normally trigger his emotions, he would take a step back and take a few deep breaths. He would then assess the situation calmly and respond in a thoughtful manner. At first, it was difficult for Michael to control his emotions. He would still get angry and frustrated, but he would take a step back and not react impulsively. As he continued to practice, he found that it became easier to control his emotions. Michael also noticed that his relationships with others improved. He was no longer getting into arguments and hurting people's feelings. Instead, he was able to communicate in a calm and thoughtful manner, which helped him build stronger relationships. One day, Michael's friend came to him for advice. His friend was going through a difficult time, and he was feeling very upset. Michael listened to his friend's problems and offered words of comfort and support. His friend thanked him and said, "You always know just what to say. You never get angry or upset." Michael smiled and replied, "It's not that I never feel angry or upset. It's just that I've learned to control my emotions and not let them control me. It's a powerful tool that has helped me improve my relationships and my overall well-being." Michael's friend was impressed and asked him how he learned to control his emotions. Michael shared his experience with mindfulness and the power of not reacting. He encouraged his friend to try it out for himself, and his friend was grateful for the advice. Over time, Michael became known for his calm and thoughtful demeanor. He was able to handle difficult situations with ease, and people admired him for his strength and resilience. He continued to practice mindfulness and the art of not reacting, and he found that it brought him a sense of inner peace and happiness. The power of not reacting is a valuable lesson that we can all learn from. It takes practice and patience, but the rewards are well worth it. By controlling our emotions, we can improve our relationships, make better decisions, and live a more fulfilling life. The moral of the story of the king and Michael teaches us that we have the power to control our emotions. We may not be able to control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. By practicing mindfulness and the art of not reacting, we can learn to control our emotions and respond in a thoughtful manner. It's a powerful tool that can help us improve our relationships, our well-being, and our overall quality of life. So let us take the time to practice and cultivate this powerful skill, and let it transform our lives for the better. Anger will never disappear so long as thoughts of resentment are cherished in the mind. Anger will disappear just as soon as thoughts of resentment are forgotten. He who holds back rising anger like a rolling chariot, him I call a real driver. Other people are but holding the reins. Holding onto anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. One who conquers himself is greater than another who conquers 1,000 times 1,000 on the battlefield. Do not be led by your reactions, be led by your actions. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. In a controversy, the instant we feel anger, we have already ceased striving for the truth and have begun striving for ourselves. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. The root of suffering is attachment. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If in our heart we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. Respond, don't react. Respond with reason, not emotion. In the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings, and all beings in his own self, and looks on everything with an impartial eye. Happiness never decreases by being shared. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. Do not dwell in the past, Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. The only way to find true happiness is to let go of your attachment to things and people. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. An idea that is developed and put into action is more important than an idea that exists only as an idea. There is no fire like passion. There is no shark like hatred. There is no snare like folly. There is no torrent like greed. What we think, we become. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. If you want to fly, you have to give up what weighs you down. If you want to change the world, change yourself first. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. The trouble is you think you have time. The mind is like water. When it's turbulent, it's difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. The tongue, like a sharp knife, kills without drawing blood. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought. Purity or
Good morning, good morning, good morning, family. Drop a 1 to chat if you guys can hear me okay. Right, I hope that we are all having an amazing morning. Just to kind of quickly dive in to what we're looking at. Initially, like this black line right here was like a 4-hour IPA that I actually was looking for reactions to the upside from, which it looks like in London session we did come down and we did react out of this like IPA beautifully, because we literally tapped it and flew. And then the process of that on the 15-minute time frame, right, we actually closed above our previous lower high, right? So with that 15-minute structure has actually broken to the upside for me. I just don't like the lows, but I do like the higher time frame IPA. I like the fact that we didn't take the low of the day, because if we're really gonna go lower, we should have taken the low in my eyes again. So the fact that we didn't, right, is giving me signs that we might actually take off, and it's just because we didn't take the low, right? So I personally entered longs off of like this 5-minute IPA. So I entered in this box, so up a couple points. I was using the restroom, that's why I was taking a little bit long. But in terms of potential re-entries, as long as this 5-minute candle engulfs, truthfully, I could really see us running, right? Because 30-minute would close, obviously ugly, would close like an engulfing candle, but hourly wise, we basically would have came and ran this whole liquidity. Plus, it's the beginning of the new 4-hour candle, and we basically just dumped, right, as soon as this new 4-hour candle started, right? 10 o'clock, we ran all of this liquidity out. Now we're getting a bounce up. So in terms of this, you could potentially enter right now. Hopefully it comes a little bit lower. Even if you enter right now, actually, it's only like a 16 pip stop. But realistically, where I would want to see it come into, if I were you guys, would be in this box. You could shrink the stop down to about 11 pips, maybe even like less than that. So you can see we're coming back in there. I like the very least, I would say like partial out in this area. Because to me, like I said, we could really just dump. But overall, I'm riding the bulls. I'm more bullish now on gold than I am bearish. So I would personally rather buy it than sell it. But DXY is in an area where we could really react for buys or for shorts right now in terms of gold. So if DXY flies, ideally gold is going to fall down a little bit. So what I could potentially see happening is just maybe when it comes down to gold, I could actually see it dropping lower. Like I said, just based off of DXY, the dollar. That's why I was kind of intrigued with shorts initially, right? But right off of DXY, this is kind of what I was looking at, and I was explaining to the gang, right? We had this IPA, we were a lot lower actually initially, but to me, I think we could really fill all of this upside in terms of dollar. So if we do that, gold is gonna drop, right? So in terms of that, you really just have to sit here and you have to understand what's going on in the overall scheme of things, because I don't think the buys lose, but like I said, dollar really has to do that thing. So if you guys entered, to me, I'm not shorting it, just because, like I said, I'm kind of in the state of whatever happens. The only way that I'll really short it is if we break below this low. If we break below this low, I'll take it when it comes back into here. But that's what has to happen for me to want to short it right now, especially out of this area. Because if we react out of this area, like I said, there's not really telling if we're gonna come back and we're gonna even be able to get this as a re-entry opportunity if we're just gonna continue higher, right? So overall, like I said, I would have shorted if I was up earlier, because we didn't take the high of the day. This is ideally like the perfect example of typically what the market should do, right? You can see an Asian session, this little Tokyo session. I heard of this, right? So this little Tokyo session that we had, we were basically moving a little bit sideways. We didn't quite get too much movement. But you can see that once London session started, we basically broke up. We took the high of this Tokyo Asian session, then immediately we dropped price down. So we made a new lower low. In terms of like 30-minute, and I would say like hourly, we didn't make a new high, but 15-minute, like I said, we did. We came back and we broke above. 30-minute, we failed to. Hourly, we failed to. So like I said, just higher time frame wise, 4 hour, this pop out of here, I wish I was awake, man. I fixed my sleep schedule to not be up during this London session, and I've been missing everything. I'm normally up all the way until like here, like 8:30, 9, sleep for a little bit, then hop on stream. But you know, it's definitely been clapping me a little bit in terms of sleep schedule. So gold is falling down, which is shit. This is good, because I do want shorts, but at the same time, it's just like, fuck, I'm not gonna sit here and keep trying to hope, right? Because at the same time, there really isn't, like, we're just falling, right? The only reason why I even like the shorts was because of the dollar, but there was nothing really showing me signs of just bearishness on actual gold. It was all on just like the actual dollar. Because even GBP, XAU GBP, like, we haven't even moved at all, right? Silver, we moved a little bit more, but silver is still, you know, it's fairly high up in these ranges. So this is what you really have to pay attention to. Like, don't just get stuck on the fact that gold drops a little bit and, oh yeah, now you want to short all the metals. Because if you really understand divergence, you go back and you sit and you look at maybe GBP, or you sit there and you take a look at silver, and now it's like you have a clear understanding of what's happening in the market versus just kind of doing what most other people do, right? Which is just kind of guess, right? They just kind of guess. They just kind of sit there and essentially they're just fucking around and finding out, right? That's all that's really happening when it comes down to these potential entries, right? It's like you're essentially taking an area that you think is gonna work just because of like an emotion, as opposed to like a technical piece of analysis that backs your idea up with actual fundamentals that, like I said, you can just apply in terms of the market, right? Because that's crucial for just being able to have any type of longevity in this. So we wicked all the way down at the bottom. To me, I still like I said, with the 1030 open, this is kind of what you want to see. You want to see price push straight down, which is virtually what we did, right? We pushed straight down and we ran the low. Like I said, this is what you have to pay attention to. You have to pay attention to if we're actually taking the low of the day, right? So to me, like I said, we're only going to take the high and the low of the day once or twice. So now that we've come in, like I said, this is the low of the day as of right now. Like the bottom of this wick would be the low of the day. So the fact that we've come into here now twice and we've yet to take it, to me, if we don't take it here, then like I said, we could potentially just find ourselves making our way up. Like, we should have already taken that low in my eyes, right? Like, we don't normally come back and we test this 2, 3, 4, 5 times and then go higher, right? If we're coming back and we're hanging around this, right, it's because it's for a reason, right? In my eyes, we should have already taken this low. Like, we might not have gotten a close below maybe the body of this candle, but we should have pushed below the bottom of this wick, which you can see that we failed to do, right? So these are just some of the things that you kind of want to pay attention to when you're getting in. Because let's say, for example, right, let's say you got in, you just got tapped out for 10 pips. Boohoo, cry me a fucking river. Because, like, if you get tapped and you just really understand price action, because this is the difference between traders that are able to make money versus traders that just kind of miss things, right? A trader who is experienced would have gotten hit out here and saw that it was just a wick and got back in just because it didn't actually close below, right? Somebody who's not experienced is just going to sit here and they're just going to watch price develop. And then when it gets up to here, then they're going to get back in. So you're going to re-enter up here, right? Instead of getting in at this prime entry down here. Like I said, we even came back to this area. When I was initially showing you this, we were up like here. We came back to the same area. You guys could have got a better entry than me, right? But like I said, it's just sitting here and not being impatient. The reason why you guys can't get wick entries is because you don't have the confidence to enter in areas like this where you think that you're probably going to lose. Like, if you just entered here, that's the difference between you being able to break even now. Like, to me, if you entered at the bottom of this, you could be able to break even. And if price comes back down, it's just because we were wrong. It's not because of anything else, right? And those are the type of trades that you wanna be able to experience. You wanna be able to experience risk free. You don't wanna have to have any risk on your trades, right? Because imagine being able to sit here and risk, let's say like 5-6 pips. From entry, you're already up 11. So if you're risking 5 and you're already up 11, that's a 1-2. Most people can't even catch a 1-1, right? My apologies, I was replying to a text. But yeah, most people are not even able to catch 1-2s, right? 1-3s. So this is just the example that I really want you guys to understand is like you being able to enter at these low risk, higher reward areas. Even when we're wrong, it's like, okay, cool. It's like you still have the best possibility for a winning trade, right? And that's even like if we were shorting it, right? If we were shorting it, for example, right? The fact that we didn't actually take this high of the day, right? Digging this down into the 3-minute, 5-minute. You could have shorted it here, here, and here. You could have shorted it 3-4 times at the top, damn near. But instead, right, you might have been a little bit hesitant. So that's why it ended up causing that to occur. My apologies, family. But in terms of that, like I said, we're just going to have to see how this closes. If it closes below this 15-minute, once we take this low, like I said, to me, I'm going to be looking for like re-entries in this like white box for shorts. But until then, like I said, I personally missed the shorts. I wasn't able to catch it. So I'm kind of looking at, like I said, just how we're reacting out of this right now. I don't like that we haven't kind of dipped already, but you know, it's cool. It's cool. Okay, so 30 came all the way up into that area that we were looking at yesterday. Like, Nas looks like we're going to take all these lows, but we're just so bullish. Right, we're just so bullish. I just don't even know if it'll even allow us to do that. Sorry, fam. I'm just sending a crypto address real quick. But yeah, in terms of the indices, taking a look at Nasty Nas right off the rip. Like I said, it looks bullish. Look bullish as fuck. On like the 15 minute, I was looking that we had like a little. If you were just kind of playing like today's intraday price action, you definitely could have caught like a 15 minute or like a 5 minute entry. But for the most part, like I said, we're kind of just expanding up further from even yesterday into no man's land. So it's definitely interesting to see. Dollar looks like we're popping up a little bit. So this means gold is probably dropping. So yeah, based off of this, now, like I said, if you're still in, I would just close. I would take like the small L. This price action, once this candle, right, was formed, to me, that was the end of that in terms of 5 minute. So realistically, at the next 30-minute hourly open, I'm just going to be looking for any pop above here. Like I said, I don't really like to just short like late. Like, of course, you could have taken a little entry in here. You could have caught a quick 40 pips, but it's not just the entry per se that is the issue. It's where do you put your stop loss, right? Do you put your stop loss up here? Do you put it right here? Do you put it here? To me, just entering here, unless you entered on maybe this wick, or you entered on this wick and you just put your stop right above this high, right? You would have been able to get a quick little 6 pip risk. That's lit, right? You would have been able to maybe catch a quick little 1 to 4, 1 to 5. But like I said, ideally being up right at the beginning of this New York session would have been lit. Like I said, this was the play. Even for my squad yesterday, that's what I was telling them, right? I was telling them shorts really is what I was looking. Just based off of just what the dollar was showing us. So it's definitely just good to be able to, like I said, have that correlation together. Because like I said, overall, we're still in this IPA, right? This is like a 4-hour, 1-hour IPA. So we might, like I said, just take this shit and then just run. So this is why I'm not really dead set until we kind of break something a little higher. Like, I just wanted to see more distribution first. Like, we didn't really distribute at all, right? We just basically popped up and started to fall damn near. That's basically what happened. Silver coming down here. So this is going to be kind of the make or break. Because like I said, with the divergence with gold, it's a little bit more bearish than the other metals. But at the same time, silver doesn't break down this. To me, gold is going to fly. Right? GBP is kind of in the area. Like I said, I don't know. I still kind of think we're still reacting out of this IPA area. Obviously, the smaller time frame point of interest we had was a little tight. But realistically, I'm still kind of looking more or less in and along this area, right? So we just basically damn near came into another point of interest when it comes down to obviously just longs. But now with 1045, basically by the end of this hourly candle, like I said, it's either we're going to dump probably like another 30, 40, 50 pips, or we're going to actually work our way back up now. And to me, this last 15 minutes should be just really that clear piece of information in terms of just really what's going to happen. Because like I said, this IPA, as long as we could break down through it fairly clean, in my eyes, I would just be looking for a pop back up into here. 30-minute wise, now as long as we close below. Like I said, these 30-minute closes are going to be crucial just because 30-minute structure is going to be the one that really maintains with that. We can see that when it comes to silver as well, right? So silver, obviously with it being a little bit more bullish, right? With the divergence, you can see that it lagged a little bit more. Silver has a nice little IPA in here. This looks beautiful on silver. Maybe we come back up here. For silver, right? And then get that continuation to the downside. But this is really what you guys have to pay attention to in terms of the higher time frame, because right now, if anything that you trade with the US dollar on it, if dollar starts to fly again, like, you just have to be prepared to not be on the other end. Because like I said, this is a weekly reversal. This is a weekly point of interest that we really are looking at in terms of gold, right? So if that shit really just does what it's supposed to, then damn, we might really be in for a long ride. So yeah, like I said, based off of this, how this last 13-minute closes, like I said, with silver has a little bit more room to breathe in terms of like it actually reacting, because we haven't really broke any. Like, for us to come down here and now fly, it would make sense, right? It wouldn't have quite made sense for us to fly from up here because of just price action. Now you can see with this wick, yeah, shit, what is gold doing? Gold just wick down into here. Okay. I still like gold longs, like I said. I still like longs till the hourly close. So shit, I took a 12 pip loss. How will I ever survive? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm up 16 right now. I'll live. I'm just kidding. But yeah, dollar, ideally we should start to see should start to break down a little bit. Actually, yeah, dollar should start to break down a little bit ideally. But I don't really care about dollar, to be honest. Like I said, I care about the dollar, but I care about the weekly. So to me, I have my weekly bias set, so I'm not sitting here looking at any in-betweens on the dollar. I'm looking for the dollar to go up. So if the dollar's going up, that means gold for the most part should go down, right? But at the same token, the metals are extremely bullish right now. And just even with price action, like I said, it just makes sense to see that continuation. So overall, I would want to see gold continue lower. But at the same token, it's just seasonality, right? I'm going to play the seasonality over anything. Like I said, we might just be bullish up until here, right? So we might be getting this reaction right now just to literally come into our sell area, okay? So this is one thing to really stay militant and stay focused on. But a nice little clean bounce out of here, like I said. It's just having the fundamentals to understand where to enter. Like I said, we took a stop loss, or we took a small loss here, but we're confident enough to re-enter here with the technical and fundamental analysis to back it. Like I said, even though I'm getting a hit out, I'm still sitting here, I still like it. I'm not worried. I'm not tripping. Like I said, it's like I try and minimize the risk, because instead of, let's say, for example, we enter here and put our stop loss below here, that's 40 pips. But if I enter, let's say here, stop right below the low, it's about 13. Right? So would you rather take 13 or a 37 pip risk? And to me, I'm taking 13 all day. Right? Especially with how we know how to get into positions. So took AU sell on 1 hour correlated with gold sells and dollar long. Yeah. Like I said, dollar long is ideally overall what I want to see, but I don't really care what it does right now, like I said, because it's not going to just fly straight up, right? It's going to have to accumulate. So to me, that's what I'm expecting for gold to distribute first. Like, I don't think gold is just going to drop from here. It doesn't really make sense, at least from what I want to see. I would want to see at least more distro personally, right? But did anybody get back into gold? Drop a XAU if you guys managed to get back in. Like I said, that's how you guys gotta just trust the process when it comes down to like positions. Like, you can't be scared. Like, you can't take like the first two, for example, and then not take the third, right? And if you're like, damn, Cash, I lost too much money, then you just need to fix your leverage. You gotta stop risking so much, because it's like, you shouldn't be down maybe more than like 1%. Like, if you risk a lot, then you'd be down 2% on just that one entry that we took. But if you're someone that was really tapped in with the kind of mindset and the discipline that I have when it comes down to just what I teach, then you more than likely probably wouldn't have been able to get in there with better parameters, right? You probably would have got in there just ASAP, right? I only took the last one, so if you only took the last one, then you're lit. You see what I'm saying? You didn't even take a loss. So that's like the difference between disciplined with people, right? It's like I took a small loss, but that's also because I have a different trading plan, right? I have different rules. I have different parameters. Like, it hit different when you do your homework on the dollar and gold just to get a better idea of what it's going to do, right? It really do hit different. Sorry, Fami. I was replying to a so yeah, ideally in terms of this, like I said, the shorts, we could react out of this area for the shorts, family. Like this first little box, absolutely, and utterly could just fucking melt after we touch this area. But I do not want to see that. If in the next 6 minutes we engulf, that's gonna be your sign to hold. If we don't engulf, I'm not saying that you can't hold it, but I'm just saying that we could potentially just fill to the upside and then melt. But this is the epitome of what we wanted to see, and this is like I said, everyone in their like once everybody and their grandmother starts looking for sells and sells just become so easy. I don't want to sell no more. Like everybody's trying to sell gold now. Like you guys are late to the party. I'm sorry, you guys fucking missed it. You should have sold it fucking January. Yeah, you should have sold it last year, right? It's a bull season now. You missed all the bearishness, right? You didn't want to sell it, motherfucking, the whole year. You didn't want to sell it for May, right? You didn't want to sell it for May. No. You wanted to buy. And then now, sell. Yo, that's literally how. I swear. Drop a 1 in the chat if that's you guys, right? You guys were selling the bullishness and buying the bearishness, like literally. Like that's what happens to most people. People are like the masses of people are just late to seasonality. Is what I typically find. Like they're just late, like dead ass. Like they just be late. Right? They don't realize, like, okay, like, we've been bearish for fucking 3 weeks now. Let me stop trying to buy it and hold it. Right? Like, for example, look at the last 3 weeks. In the last 3 weeks, if you sold gold at any time, would you have been able to hold it? No. So why are we selling it trying to hold fucking sells? I don't get it. Make it fucking make sense. Because that's where I was losing most of my money last week. I was losing most of my money trying to be a dickhead and sell it. Right? But at the same time, what you have to do, like I said, is be attached to your bias off of the technical analysis. Right? So for me, I was emotionally attached to the sells because I'm like, you dumb bitch. Like, you gotta come fill a little bit lower. And I ended up just missing the fills days I was sleeping. So it's like, it literally did what I wanted to, but I was just fucking sleep. Right, because I fixed my sleep schedule. But now you really have to sit there and put into consideration. Any sales had to be very short term. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like Chris Rich. Like if you're taking shorts, like more or less they should be like session trades. Like you should literally be taking a short from London session. Like if you sold from Tokyo or London session today, leading into New York, you would have made money on gold easily. Right? You would have made money on probably AU. I saw GU and EU were a lot more bearish than gold. So, to me, right, there was that in itself. But when it comes down to all of these things, like I said, we really have to... My apologies, family. But in terms of that, right, really what I want you guys to understand is that this stuff isn't as difficult as we make it seem, but we gotta stop overcomplicating the process, because when we overcomplicate the process, right? For example, it's like today. It's like, boom, look at this. It's reacting exactly where we said that it would react. Like, do you guys think that's a coincidence that literally 2-3 minutes left into the ending of the hour, we're coming and reacting beautifully off of this same point of interest that we literally gave, right? So this is why I say the hourly closes are going to be so crucial, because at 10:45, you guys probably thought that gold was going to sit through the face of the earth. It was going to melt. And now it being 10:57, you probably are thinking that, oh my gosh, you missed the buy, so now you got to get back into the re-entries, or you're thinking it's just going to go to the moon. So that's what I mean by emotionally being attached to a trade, because you have to look at the technicals. I emotionally want it to go up. Actually, I don't really care where it goes. Emotionally, I could care less if it goes up or down. Right? I just want it to move. But, right, when it comes down to a technical aspect, I really see the perspective from the shorts, from where we're at right now, logically higher term, it's not just a little quick scalp, but then also on the flip, right? Yeah, I closed on myself 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Yeah, you know, I know there's a bunch of people in the chat that sold it too, and it was very, very clean entries. I would have sold the fuck out of it too. I would have just bought it, right? It literally reacted perfectly out of my buy area, so I would have just bought it. Would have been the only difference, and I would have just been playing ping pong. And I would have just let whatever side, I would have broke even on both, and I would have just let whatever side win. So drop a Goldie if you guys are in the longs. You guys should be able to take some partials, right? You could pay yourself a little bit. Overall, I do want to see the high get taken, so I want to see 1980, 1981 ideally, for that next target. But based off of price action right now, like I said, we're getting that engulfing candle, beautiful, right? But we're also reacting out of that same point of interest. So like I said, if you wanted to be safe, you could pay yourself, because like I said, there's no harm in doing that, because realistically, if you guys got in just anywhere within this sweet spot, ideally stop below the low, would have been about a 10 pip stop. I know I had a little bit less than a 10 pip stop. I had about an 8 pip stop for my best entry. So to the high would be about a 1 to 12. Like the high of like today would be about a 1 to 12. To see yesterday's high get taken would be closer to a 1 to 15. Did take partial first target 1980. Okay, fire, right? So yeah, I missed my entry at GU. Slept in too long. Yeah, trust me. That's the thing about sleeping during London and like pre-New York. You just never know really what day is gonna be the day that we're gonna go and not come back. Okay, so very, very, very interesting. So big long wick on the 30-minute, us no wick on the bottom. Yeah, I would say you guys should break even. You guys should probably break even. I wouldn't be surprised if gold dumps. Might be like, what? Gold dumps? It just went up. This is bad, really, for what we want to see in terms of candle open. The only thing I like is a 30-minute engulfing. We would literally have to come down, fill one of these little IPAs, and run. Right? If not, to me, we are going to probably melt from here. So you can break even. I would say break even. Or just secure some partials. Because, like I said, if you, like, why catch a quick 40-50, right? If you're not even going to pay yourself at all. It just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. God damn. I didn't realize how much I was up. I didn't even look at the time. So ideally, we should see this flip. Like if we're not gonna melt, then this whatever wick down we get, like, it just needs to continue to run. Like I said, now that we've kind of created the wick on both, on both sides. I like how we're kind of bouncing up. We came back to this last down candle before we then engulfed. So like I said, if you got in towards the bottom, you should be good to virtually break even. It shouldn't come back and touch you, like tap you out. Nas, like I said, doing a whole bunch of shit all. DXY dropping a little bit. That's kind of what we expected. But yeah, shit. Overall, family, I'm not gonna keep you guys for too much longer. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today. Just off of that, I feel like we caught a solid little 40-50 pip move. So if you guys got any type of value at all, drop in the chat. Drop a 1-on-1. If you guys are looking for mentorship and you guys need help, one-on-one help, if you guys need group mentorship, if you guys need help with getting funded, if you guys need help with withdrawing consistently or even creating a trading plan, right, shoot me a message. Like I said, ideally, if you're not tapped into any type of mentorship, I want you guys to lock in with me, right? And even if you are, like I said, if you're part of the squad, just shoot me a message if you guys need help with anything, right? I'm really here to help anybody to ask, right? Just make sure you close mouths don't get fed, family. So in terms of that, like I said, break even. If you want a short gold too, short gold, and let's see who's brave. Let's see who got the balls to go ahead and do that. But in terms of that, family, I love and appreciate you guys. I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip.